Hello there, very good afternoon. Harry Adams is here today from KEFI Gold and Copper. A warm welcome to you. Always great to have you with us because you said that you believe your company has come through this kind of watershed quarter, in your words, with excellent, as you've called it, progress achieved on your three main projects there in Ethiopia and Saudi Arabia. So we're going to talk about how all of this was achieved and much more. So it sounds like you're pleased and you're on track. So how so?
Well, it's not so much to do with about us, if you like. It's to do with the environment we're working within. We're in two so-called frontier markets for mining. One has not done a mining deal for 30 years and hasn't regulated or permitted one, and it had a civil war last year. So pretty easy to contemplate how that might have held us up last year, in particular with a civil war. But that's all history now, and the country reacts and responds and recovers extremely quickly. And so we're bouncing with the country bouncing, frankly. I mean, we've always been driven and hard and all that stuff, but up until Christmas, it was defending ourselves and protecting the asset, protecting the syndicate, and now it's actually charging forward. And over in Saudi, it's not quite so dramatic, but there's been long promoted by the authorities regulatory overhaul in Saudi, and it only just started happening in December. And so that allowed us to start charging forward as well in Saudi Arabia. It's sort of like being held back, I suppose, and then being allowed to run. That's what it is, I think.
Let's maybe go through your projects now. So the Tulu Kapi is in Ethiopia, isn't it? And that's your most advanced project. And as you say, in a way, that was the one most affected by the environment there, as you've just explained. So what's happening there?
Well, I suppose three sets of things. One is in the field, on the ground, people running around, refurbishing camps for construction, talking to thousands of people in the community, to local authorities. So that's field work, if you like. Both interpersonal and physical work. Second set of work is what you call administrative or bureaucratic or permitting, however you want to describe it. But there's half a dozen different government agencies or authorities involved with us, and we only report the main ones, but there are others as well. And there's a host of things that one has to make sure are in order, I's dotted and T's crossed, before you deploy hundreds of people and hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no use making sure I's are dotted and T's crossed after you've done that. So that's the second set of work. And the third set of work is international, of making sure that the dozen or so companies in this syndicate that are putting up most of the capital, nearly all of the capital, are going through their processes in sync, so that we all come together at the same moment. So it's three sets of work, with people working in many different countries, people working out in the district and people working in Addis Ababa.
And you've got two key projects there in Saudi. So they're sort of, go, I guess.
Well, in Saudi, it's a couple of steps behind what's happening in Tulu Kapi, because Tulu Kapi is ready to go and we're cobbling together the financing and the final consents and the final security checks and that sort of stuff. In Saudi Arabia, we've only just, in the last months, proven, if you like, that we have economic deposits and that the regulatory authorities are behind it now for us to get going. So there's a lot of technical work, drilling, trenching, geophysical surveys. We have a camp out in the middle of the desert with 50 people working. I mean, there's a whole range of things going on, but it's mainly on the ground, in the field, drilling, trenching, and so on, these projects to build up their resource base. And secondly, back in Riyadh, or in the office that we have in Taif, a lot of engineering work planning their development. So they're coming along a year or two behind Tulu Kapi, and as their feasibility studies complete, they'll move into the same mode as Tulu Kapi, and development teams will switch from one to the other and that sort of thing.
All right. Well, thank you very much indeed for giving us the catch up there, Harry. Always a pleasure. It sounds like you're really thrilled with how everything's going, and presumably you're hoping gold's going to stay on the right trajectory.
Well, it certainly augurs well. I mean, being involved in copper and gold, I don't know that there's anything better to be involved in for the long term, but also in the short term, they're behaving very well. So I'm pretty happy with all of that. It seems to be sort of coming together for us in that sense as well.
All right. Well, we'll let you get on with it. Thank you so much indeed. That's Harry Adams there from
Thank you.
Gold and Copper.
Thank you.